Today, March 21, 1998. Last week we already finished 2 chapters. That's chapter 2. So, all of you maybe remember that, right? So I would like to tell you one thing about jhana factors. How many jhana factors we have? 5, right? Jhana factor 5, Vitaka, that's the initial application, Vichara, sustained application, Piti, joy or rapture, and Sukha, happiness, and Ekagata, one-pointedness. We have 5 kind of jhana factors. So how many mental factors arise in form sphere consciousness? 35, right? Remember that, right? 35 here. Here's the form sphere consciousness, right? This is the first jhana. I'm sorry. Here, right? First jhana, how many mental factors arise in this first jhana? 35, right? 35 kind of mental factors. But here, as mental factors or jhana factors, just only have 5. Why? See? Understand it, right? So when we say jhana factor, Vidaga, Vichara, Piti, Sukha, Ekagata, just only 5. But really, this mental factor 35, this arise together. Why this is especially just this only 5 is the mental jhana factor. Why others the mental factor is not jhana factors? So, yes, that's the same. Yeah, part of the 35. But except 5 didn't cause the jhana factor, right? Or why? So I would like all of you to understand that. Because this jhana factors, Vidaga, Vichara, Piti, Sukha, Ekagata, these 5 kind of jhana factors, this directly opposed to mental hindrances. This is the reason, right? These 5 jhana factors directly opposed to the mental hindrances. That's the first reason. Or second reason is these jhana factors are closely examined on an object. Right? 2 reasons. Closely examine on an object or contemplate an object, concentrate on an object. That's why especially we call these 5 mental factors as jhana factors. So we should know that, right? We should know that. So for today, we're going to study about they call Pakinaka Sangha. Pakinaka. You should know that the name is Pakinaka. Here, Pakinaka. Pakinaka. This Pakinaka, or in English we can call it as the miscellaneous section. This is a mix, the mind and matters. Miscellaneous section, Pakinaka. We will classify as the six kind of classification, six kind of analysis. Once we discuss about the feeling, analysis of feeling, and analysis of root, analysis of function, analysis of doors, analysis of object, and analysis of basis. We've studied about this six kind of classification in this miscellaneous section. Just feeling, Vedana, we already know that feeling. Now we already know that how many consciousness, yes, 89 or 121, yes. What type of consciousness, what is the feeling, something like that, we will, start in detail. So after we finish one chapter, if you remember all of this consciousness, it's not big deal. Very easy to study for the chapter 3. Just the feeling. So firstly, Vedana Sangha, right? Vedana Sangha is the summary of feeling. So how many feeling? 5 kind of feeling that depend on connection. Sometimes the Buddha says 5 kind of feelings, or some is the 3 kind of feeling, some 2 kind of feeling, but sometimes just the only one. So how's the 5 to become 3, 3 to become 2, 2 to become 1? We will discuss about that. We experience about this. Feeling is very important too. Every day, what we need, we need good feeling, right? Good Vedana, good feeling. So the feeling here, we have 5 kind of feeling. What are they? 5 kind of feeling. Sukha, and we call in Bali Sukha Vedana. Physical happiness. Physical happiness. And Somanasa is the mental pleasure. Mental pleasure. It's the Ubekha, indifference or equanimity or neutral feeling.
Is that mental or physical?
Yes, that's mental. Ubekha is mental. Mental, indifference, feelings, equanimity, or neutral feeling. And dukkha. Dukkha is the painful feeling. Right? Dukkha is painful feeling. And domanassa is the mental displeasure. Mental displeasure. Just 5 kind of feeling, not more than this. Just all feeling. Vedana. Here's sukha. So sukha. Sukha is look at here. Ahi dukkha, rootless consciousness 18, right? It's the sukha here. See that, right? Sukha sagada kaya vinyana. this one. This wholesome resultant body consciousness. Remember that, right? This is the kusala vipaka, right? Kusala is mean wholesome, vipaka and resultant, wholesome resultant body consciousness. It's accompanied with what feeling? Accompanied by happiness. Accompanied by happiness, right? So, we know sukha, if the sukha, you understand this one. Wholesome, resultant body consciousness accompanied by happiness. The sukha, you know it right away. Maybe the sukha, vedana, something like that, you know. Okay. Now we go to somanasa. How many types of somanasa we already studied in this consciousness? 62. 62 types of consciousness. Somanasa. Right? Somanasa. This the 62 type of consciousness accompanied by pleasure. Pleasure. Look at here, pleasure. Among unwholesome consciousness, how many somanasa? You see here? 4. Right? 4. And among rootless consciousness, only 2. Right? What are these 2? Investigating consciousness, smile producing, the somanasa 2, right? And among sense sphere consciousness, beautiful consciousness, here, sense sphere, beautiful consciousness, somanasa, how many one? 12, right? 12, okay. 12, so here, unwholesome consciousness, somanasa, 4, rootless consciousness, 2, 6, right? 6 and plus this sense sphere, beautiful consciousness, 12. 12 and 6, 18. Okay, 18. And the first jhana, somanasa, 11. Second jhana, 11. Third jhana, 11. Fourth jhana, 11. 11, 4 times, 44. 44 and 18, 62. Yes, somanasa vedana. It means this 62 type of consciousness accompanied by pleasure, somanasa. See that, right? So if you look at the chart, it's very, clear. So when you say somanasa vedana, you know right away what type of consciousness. And ubekha, 55 types of consciousness. This accompanied by this neutral feeling. 55. Yeah, 55. 55. 55, you see here. Look at here, 55. Among unwholesome consciousness, how many ubekha we have here? In Lobha Mula Chitta, 4. And Moha Mula Chitta, 2. Right? 2. And 2. Among rootless consciousness, except somanasa 2 and body consciousness 2, remains 14, right? 14 and unwholesome consciousness, ubekha 4. No, 6. Yes, 6. 6 and 14, 20, right? Okay. Unwholesome consciousness, ubekha 4. Rootless consciousness 14. And then 20, right? 20, okay. 20 among sense sphere, beautiful consciousness, how many ubeka have here? 12. 12 and 12, 32. Okay, 32. And here, the fifth jhana. How many? Also the fifth jhana, right? The fifth jhana of form sphere consciousness, fifth jhana 3. This formless consciousness, or is the fifth jhana, right? And supramundane, fifth jhana 8. Altogether, the fifth jhana, or is the ubeka, right? How many one here? This is the 15 and 8. 15 and 8. Yes, 23 and 32. 55. You see? Yes.
What's the difference between Ubeka and no sensation?
No?
No sensation, like when you're in the body.
Oh, no. Yes, I'll explain you later.
Well, I mean, I'm just wondering,
Yeah.
in the fifth jhana, how close is that to nirvana?
No,
Sense experience?
yes, I'll explain to you later for the Nibbana. No, I will explain here the fifth jhana first. After that, the Nibbana is not, Nibbana is the supreme bliss. No pleasurable feeling. This is the supreme bliss.
But Ubeka is not pleasurable, it's just,
I know, it's just neutral.
so isn't that about the same as saying there's no Vedana?
Oh, no, we cannot say it's nowhere now. You sit here. When you sit comfortable, the sukha vedana, it's the physical pleasure feeling rises. So when you sit here long term, and then what do you feel? Dukkha, physical painful feeling rises. Firstly, when you sit, you don't feel the pleasure or unpleasure, right? This is a neutral feeling. Neither pain nor happiness.
That's closer to
Yes, that's because this composed to sukha. I explain to you later about for ubeka especially. We have to know that, Okay, right now, so I would like all of you to notice this ubeka, neutral feeling, accompanied by neutral feeling. How many types of consciousness? 55, right? You already know the 55, right? What are they? 55. And domanassa. Domanassa is what's domanassa? Mental displeasure. Domanassa is mental displeasure. This mental displeasure look at among unwholesome consciousness here. Dosa mula citta, right? This dosa mula citta is accompanied by displeasure. So now sukha, how many sukha you have? One. Oh, step here. Dukkha, we must pay here, pain. This is dukkha. Dukkha is physical pain, right? Physical pain. This is accompanied by pain. What do you call here? Unwholesome, resultant body consciousness accompanied by pain, dukkha, right? Okay. So we have sukha, 1, and somanassa, 62, ubeka, 55, dukkha, 1, domanassa, 2. Altogether, 121. Right? 121. Get it, right? So, this for the 5 kind of Vedanas. Or sometimes the Buddha thought about, this about Vedana, just the 3 Vedanas, 3 feelings. From 5 become 3. Just sometimes depend on connection. So 3 Vedana, 3 feelings is Sukha, Ubbekha, and Dukkha. Right? Dukkha. Sukha, where come from Sukha? From Sukha and Somanasa become Sukha, pleasurable. So this Sukha, this is a physical, mental feeling, right? Becomes Sukha. Because their nature the same, right? Because nature the same. Because Sukha, Vedana, Somanasa, Vedana become Sukha, Vedana, pleasurable feeling. And you can just memorize the Sukha should be 62. We're going to say that here. Sukha, how many types of consciousness? According to this Sukha, 63. See? 63, right? This physical happiness 1 and mental pleasure 62. This 63 type of consciousness accompanied by Sukha. Right? Sukha, pleasurable feeling. And Ubbekha. Ubbekha just remain the same, right? Ubbekha. This is 55 type of consciousness. This is accompanied by this is neither pleasurable nor painful feeling. This is Ubbekha, 55. So Dukkha here. Dukkha here, that's a painful feeling. Which come from painful feeling? Come from dukkha and domanassa. You see, right? Dukkha is the physical painful feeling. Domanassa, mental displeasure. Their nature is the same, right? That's why this dukkha and domanassa vedana, these 2 kinds of vedana become dukkha vedana. So that's why the Buddha says only 3 kinds of vedana. What are they? Sukha Vedana, Ubbekha Vedana, Dukkha Vedana. Here, Dukkha Vedana here, how many types of consciousness? 3, right. 3. So, 63, 55, 3, altogether 121. Sometimes the Buddha says that 2 Vedana. 2 Vedana. 2 Vedana is the Sukha Vedana, Ubbekha Vedana. You see, you become Sukha. You ask me right now, right? What is Ubbekha? Ubbekha becomes Sukha. Right? Becomes Sukha Vedana. So, Sukha Vedana and Dukkha Vedana, only 2 Vedana we have that. So, Ubbekha here, we have, please note that, blameless neutral feeling. Now, blameless, neutral feeling is included in Sukha, happiness. Here, Ubbekha should be a blameless, neutral feeling and blameworthy, neutral feeling. For the blameless, neutral feeling is included in happiness, Sukha. For the blameworthy neutral feeling is included in dukkha, right? Differentiated these 2 for Ubbekha. So we have Sukha, Dukkha. According to this 2 Vedana, Sukha, how many is the consciousness? So 62, 55, right. Dukkha, just remain the same. 3, right? 3. So altogether, 121 type of consciousness. And sometimes the Buddha said only vedana, one feeling, one vedana. What is one vedana? Dukkha, dukkha, sapphi sankhara dukkha, the Buddha said. All conditioning is the dukkha. Conditioning is the mean our mind, our mental factor, our rupa, body, everything, just dukkha, become dukkha. So, here we have 3 kinds of dukkha. 3 kinds of dukkha. When we sit meditation for a bodily, for the physical painful feelings, everyone knows, even animal, they experience it, But for another's dukkha, they don't understand it. Even the normal person who are not practice meditation, they don't understand it. So we practice meditation to realize this the dukkha. So I would like to you write it first, and I explain to you this 3 kinds of dukkha. One dukkha is mean painfulness as suffering. Painfulness as suffering. Number 2, suffering in chain. Suffering in chain. In chain, I'll explain to you later. Suffering in chain. Chain, C-H-A-N-G-E, change. Change. I'm sorry. 3, suffering due to formation. Suffering due to formation. Okay, here. Painfulness as suffering is very easy to understand. Some physical pain, or some mental displeasure, everyone can feel it, can experience it, very easy to understand. Just the painfulness as suffering, right? This means, or physical painful feeling and mental displeasure. That's very easy to understand. For us, in Bali they call dukkha. In Bali word they call dukkha. They call dukkha. For number 2, suffering in chain, they call viparinama dukkha. Viparinama is the change. Changing. That's now you feel comfortable in mental, pleasurable feeling. But this the mental, pleasurable feeling, later on, maybe just few minutes, will change to suffering. Right? We change to suffering. That's why this kind of feeling we call viparinama dukkha. Suffering and change. It's changing all the time. It's not last long. Even sukha, even happiness, you cannot be happiness all throughout your life. It's change to suffering, may change to another neutral feeling, something like that. Because in Pali word, they call viparinama dukkha. Viparinama dukkha. We pari nama dukkha. Viparinama dukkha. So when sit meditation, whatever occur, what kind of feelings occur, you just be aware of this feeling. When they arise, you just observe it, and then you will know the disappear, right? When it is arising, you know disappear. You know that we try to realize this dukkha, this changing. We call viparinama dukkha. So just a meditator, we can understand this kind of feeling, dukkha. This kind of dukkha, suffering. And the third one is the suffering due to formation, because sankhara dukkha. Sankhara dukkha. Sankhara dukkha. This mentioned here, so one vedana, see that, right? 5 vedana, 3 vedana, 2 vedana, 1 vedana here, see that, right? 1 vedana is the whatever there is the feeling, or there is the dukkha, the sabbi sankhara dukkha. This saying was otherwise the reference to impermanence of conditioned thing, perishable nature, transient nature of conditioned things, their natures to fade away and to cease. The sankhara. Sankhara, you know sankhara, right? Sankhara, conditioned thing. Our mind and matter arise because of our karma, right? Our action. Karma, previous action, good karma, bad karma, and because of our mind. And udu is what we call here, what do you call udu? It's the visual, heat, cold, temperature, yeah, you can call temperature, and food. 4 kind of things support us, to survive. Just because 4 kind of conditions to support our mind and matter. And then, whatever the sankhara, maybe it's mind, maybe mind and matter, maybe outside all the things in this world, this is dukkha. Why is dukkha? Impermanence. Because it's the impermanent we call dukkha. Or if you don't understand, we call just suffering. Some they say that the monk is what you call the master of suffering. They talk about suffering so much. Really, we not talk about the suffering. We talk the realities. Our mind and body. We have 3 kinds of suffering, which not means we're very unhappy. The suffering which not mean like that. We understand the realities, everything's whatever that occur in this world, one day, one time, it's perished, right? It's not last long. We call suffering. The way we call suffering. So I would like all of you to remember 3 kinds of suffering, right? We already know that. Dukkha, and viparinama dukkha, and sankhara dukkha. You see? Or every moment here, our mind, our body, just arise and disappear all the time. What do you call it here? Sankhara dukkha. Sankhara, where sit meditation, you close your eyes, you concentrate your mind, maybe you feel very happy. But this happy is not last long. Just even it's happy, it's not change. This happiness is not only one happiness. Happiness arises and disappear. There's another happiness will occur, arise, disappear, keep going on, right? This is sankhara dukkha. Sankhara dukkha. When you look at the sensation, or look at the movement of your abdomen, or your breath in, breath out, every moment just arise and disappear all the time. What do you call it? Sankhara dukkha. Right? Or someone they practice meditation, they just try to concentrate their mind on the sensation of on your body, what is their feel. The sensation is not only one, last long, just arise and disappear, just keep going on very fast. And then we try to observe our mind, our concentration on this point. We see sankhara dukkha. Now sankhara dukkha. Even sometimes our body is a vibration, all whole our body, we feel, we know that. This sankhara dukkha. Even your mind also, the noting mind, your mind also just arises and disappears all the time. Sankhara dukkha. So just a meditator, we can experience these two kinds of dukkha. Number 2 and number 3. For number 1, everyone, even animal. So, Nibbana is what do you call it? Nibbana. Nibbana is the state to be supreme bliss. Supreme bliss. This Nibbana is not a pleasurable feeling. Because no one's in Nibbana, right? Even we call dukkha, Nibbana is not a pleasurable feeling. It's a bliss of relief. Relief from all kind of suffering. Because Nibbanang paramang sukhang, right? Nibbanang paramang sukhang. Paramang sukhang is meant supreme bliss. Supreme bliss. Here, dukkha here. Dukkha it's not just suffering only, right? Dukkha. A state of suffering or being subject to suffering. Maybe when you have something you want, what do you feel? Happy, right? If that person, that thing, lost that one, how you feel? Dukkha. That's called because the subject suffering. Right? Or you want to marry with someone you love, and when you get it, you marry, you feel happy. One day, you suffer about that. This was suffering, subject to suffering. And then, even you get something or someone with you, you feel unsatisfactoriness, just suffering too. I don't like, unsatisfied. Even you don't like, you have to be with, right? It's dukkha too. So dukkha is not only our body, This means dukkha is, the meaning is, it's very deep. So it's dukkha. That's why someone say, when you sit meditation, or what do you say? Something I just told them, I just see suffering. But this suffering is not mean I feel pain. I feel very, it's not pain. I can sit, many hours. But I see dukkha. Right? See dukkha. Just sankhara dukkha. Viprinama dukkha. It's changing all the time. Impermanency, called dukkha. And the first sermon was the Buddha. It's talking about the Four Noble Truths. After the Buddha gave enlightenment he preached to the Pancha Vaggi, 5 astics, You had the picture, right? The first sermon of the Buddha. The Buddha thought about the Four Noble Truths. But the Four Noble Truths, one is the suffering, right? The cause of suffering, right? Cessation of suffering, and the ways to lead to the cessation of suffering. The suffering in Dhammacakkappavattana Sutra, the first sermon of the Buddha, explain about this kind of dukkha. In our book, the chanting book, also we have that. The morning chanting, I think, morning chanting. This 8 kind of dukkha. 8 kind of dukkha. This the birth is suffering. Now, birth is suffering, decay is suffering. When we live in our mother wombs for 9 months, 10 months, but we don't understand. But the Buddha knows that the birth is suffering and decay. Decays may be old, getting old. No one wants to be old. So decay is suffering. To go to the dentist, go for surgery, something like that. And disease is suffering. Disease is suffering. And that is suffering. No one wants to die. That is suffering. Association with the unpleasant. Association with the unpleasant is suffering too. We don't want to stay together with that person, but we have to. This also suffering. Separation from the beloved, the one we love. We have to separate from that person, that thing, also suffering. When one does not obtain what one desires, there's suffering. You want something, you want someone, you're gonna get it, you're gonna obtain it. This is suffering. And the Buddha said, in brief, the 5 aggregates are suffering. This 5 aggregates is our mind and matter. Also suffering, because you have body, because you have your mind. Regard to your mind, you have suffering. Regard to your body, you have suffering. Just briefly, these 5 aggregates are suffering. These sufferings are concerned about all the man and deva, the God. Even heaven, they have this kind of suffering. A kind of suffering, right? And sometimes the Buddha explain about this suffering, 12 kind of suffering, especially for human being, for the human being. The 12 kind of suffering. Here, the 12 kind of suffering, instead of disease, the Buddha say here, grief, grief, lamentation, pain, displeasure, despair are suffering. But in heaven, no lamentation, right? No pain, physical pain. Just in our human being, we have grief, lamentation, pain, displeasure, despair, because that all kinds of these things are suffering. For the suffering, for here, dukkha and sukha. Normally, when you see the undesirable object, what kind of feeling will arise? Domanassa, mental displeasure, domanassa. for average person. But for right understanding person, domanassa, mental displeasure, can maybe not rise for the right understanding person. Right? Or let's start, for example, with a dog. When they see what they call excrement, right? Excrement. This excrement or excreta, this is the desirable object or undesirable object normally. Undesirable object, no one want to look at again, But for the dog, how come? I'm lucky today. I'm lucky today, I have special one, still warm for me. You see? Pleasurable and unpleasurable depend on person. Depend on person. So, how about you, Roger? You want to become a monk?
I don't think so.
So,
A little bit hard.
you become monks. We have nothing around us. We don't have anything. But we feel happy, because we don't have anything. So even someone feels it's the heaven, it's the good place or the good thing, a good life. Maybe someone is hell, Or 2 years ago, last year, when I for the rainy season for 3 months, I practiced my retreat meditation for 3 months. One gentleman said, "Oh, sister, I think it's the hell." He said, "You stay alone or in practice meditation, it is the hell." Maybe he thinks it's the hell. For him, For me, paradise. But he thinks hell. So it depends on right understanding. It depends on right understanding. So what is heavens to one, maybe hell to another. Depend on our background, Or what is hell to one, maybe heaven to another. It's not, we cannot say it's the pleasurable, unpleasurable feeling. Or let someone have physical pain. But normally when we have physical pain, what do you feel? Yes, just displeasure feeling.